everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with the design team post for Scrapping for Less. Let me first say I know I sound awful. I have been really sick, and I actually feel better even though I still sound really awful. So I'm going to try to make it through this voiceover without losing my voice, and I apologize for how I sound, but I can't help it. So today I'm going to be making a scene card with spring scene stamps. Now, I had a lot of issues with this, and I'm sure a lot of it had to do with because I wasn't feeling well to begin with. And so you'll kind of see where I'm going with different things. But I used Spring Scenes by Sunny Studios, and honestly, this is a great scene stamp. And if you are afraid to draw your own scenes or, kind of freehand them, this is perfect because it gives you everything you need to create a perfect scene. And I love how this not picnic, but the bench is sitting on the road, and there are just so many different possibilities with this. It gives you a little, I didn't use it in this, but it gives you a little dotted line that you could put like for a road, color it differently than I did. I was not happy with any of the coloring that I did with this, and like I said, you'll end up seeing. But anyways, I also used Puppy Dog Kisses from Sunny Studios, and then just for the background, I cut down a panel for the Rick Rack border, and I used some Puppy Hugs and Kisses. And you saw me stamping and masking as I was stamping, and I know I've said it before, but when you are masking, you need to make sure whatever you want in the front or that looks like it's in the front, you need to stamp first. So you kind of have to stamp in reverse of how you're actually doing it, and then you stamp, and then you mask, and then that's going to be on the front, and then you stamp the next thing and you mask, and then that'll be behind the first stamp but in front of the third stamp. So that's kind of how you got to go back and forth with it. So like I said, I think because I really wasn't feeling well to begin with when I was coloring these, I just could not get my coloring done properly, and I did not like how any of it looked. I was way too heavy-handed when I was coloring. Like I said, I think it just a lot had to do with because I wasn't feeling well. So I ended up doing a couple different things with this. So the reason why I left this here, because I don't think that the card turned out bad, and I still think it was cute. And sometimes as you're going, and even if you're not completely happy with something, you can still salvage it, especially if you have a lot of time into it. You don't always just want to chuck it and toss it in the garbage. So even though I was not happy with how any of this turned out, and thinking back now a little clearer and not quite feeling so bad, there was a lot of things I could have done to this to salvage this. There's stamps that are part of this spring stamp set that are like little pieces of grass. I could have easily stamped those all around the grass, because that's really what I did not like in this, because it was just over blended. It's like some Distress Oxide. The background would have went perfectly with the different little stamps of the grass. It's not quite blades, but it looks like little grass blades, groups of yeah, I'll spit it out. Groups of grass blades. And there's a lot of different pieces to this, as far as there's some trees, there's a mountain background. I love this fence. It is absolutely my favorite part of this entire thing. But like I said, I love the picnic. I love the fence. I just love how, why do I keep calling it a picnic? It's a bench. It's not a picnic anything. But the bench on the road, and then like I said, the fact that you can either create grassy hills or you can create a road in between the grassy hills. I just think it's really an awesome design set, especially, like I said, if you're not really confident in drawing your own. And it just gives you the perfect opportunity to create a scene without having to draw in anything yourself. So anyways, back to the card. So like I said, I really thought this was pretty much a disaster as I was coloring it, but I forged ahead, and I ended up just cutting it down to about 3 inches. I love the bench and the little street there and stuff, so I ended up cutting off the top half, and I cut that down to 3 inches high by 5.5 inches wide. And then the back panel was 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches, and I cut about 1/4 of an inch off of each side with the rickrack that just edged it with the stitched edge. And then for this sentiment, it was actually, I really liked how this turned out. So I took a stitched circle die, and let me actually measure that. But I took it, and the bottom and puppy dog kisses part of the sentiment is kind of long, and so what I did was I curved it around the bottom of the circle so that it kind of went that way, so it ended up fitting there. And then it says get well wishes and puppy dog kisses. Now that circle is about 1.5 inches, and then I just kind of pieced this together, and of course I popped up the sentiment and my little puppy dogs that I popped right up there on the bench because they are just adorable on the bench, and I do love my little puppy dogs. So since this is Sunny Studio Focus Month at Scrapping for Less, all of the products I'm using are the Sunny Studio Puppy Dog Kisses, the Spring Scenes, and the Rick Rack, and then the paper I used was Scrapping for Less Puppy Hugs and Kisses. So thanks everyone for joining me, and I hope everyone takes care. Bye-bye.